So the Democrats apparently have come up with a new strategy, which I actually think is a good idea, at least in theory. And that is to, since the Republicans have chosen not to do town halls in their own districts, the Democrats are going out into those districts and they're going to hold town halls, which I think is a great idea. I think they should focus on, first at least, on the districts that are having special elections coming up in like a couple of weeks, because we have a chance there to actually flip some seats, maybe. Depends on the district, but that's where I would focus first. They're not necessarily, I don't know that they're necessarily doing that or planning to do that, but they should be planning to do that. But I think overall, the strategy seems to be, how can we reach, Trump voters or Trump voters that have regrets for voting for Trump. And while that's fine, I think we probably could possibly reach and flip a few of those voters. I think a better grand strategy, at least, would be to go after the people who didn't vote at all, who might actually be, more liberal-minded, blue thinking to start with, but for whatever reasons, right? Like I talked about a couple days ago, for whatever reasons they didn't vote. Maybe they just given up on the whole system, which is understandable, or they just don't really pay that much attention to politics, but they're basically liberal-minded. We need to get those voters. I really think that is the gold mine. Because why? Because there are more eligible voters in the United States that did not vote at all, okay, than there are that voted for either of the two candidates. I don't have the exact numbers. I've seen the numbers, but I don't have them in front of me, and that's not my gig, trying to throw statistics at you, because that doesn't really convince anybody. But trust me, there are more people didn't vote that could have voted than did vote for either Trump or Kamala Harris. And so that's a big pool of people. Something like 80 million that did not vote. We should be going after them. All of them, right? Like, why didn't you vote? Talk to them, find out why they didn't vote. So some of them have already said that they feel bad that they didn't vote, because now all this shit's going on with Trump and Musk. And they're like, oh my God, why didn't I vote? Those are people we need to reach out to, and their friends and colleagues and family and whatever. People like them, because we could gain millions of votes fairly easily, I think. So if you're one of those people, please register to vote if you haven't, and plan to vote next time. Vote in your local elections this November, for mayors or whatever. And then definitely plan to vote in next year for Democrats in your district. And make sure you research them. Just look them up online. It's not hard. Anyway, that's a strategy I would use if I were the Democratic Party, which I'm not. They don't ask me. They should. They should ask me for fucking advice, but they do not. All right, guys. Fuck on. Live fearless.